Hey guys, what's up? Mana here. A few days ago, a customer brought in his Honda XR200 that we turned into a supermoto a while back. He wanted to improve the stance of his bike since he found it odd having the rear end of his bike sticking up, and he wanted a lower seat height at the same time. So we did a very small modification to his bike. A simple alteration that got what he was looking for, but it also fixed a lot of issues related to this model. In this video, I'll be demonstrating to you what this modification does to the XR200 and how to do this yourself. Stick around because you will like the end results. Okay, to clarify a few things before we begin, this model XR200 is not the same off-road only enduro model that came out in the late 80s to the 2000s, which is the XR200R. Although this is heavily based on that model though. The one that we have here is basically a street legal version that came out in the early 90s as somewhat a replacement to the older XL line. In other countries, this bike also carries the XLR200 name. Some even dub this the XR200L, L meaning lame version because it's not as good as the off-road only model. Here in the Philippines though, people simply call this the XR200. Now this bike may have been discontinued in 2013, but it still has a huge following even up to this day. Ever since this bike came out in the early 90s, it became a huge hit. It's simple to use, reliable as what a Honda should be, capable on and off-road, and it has that signature XR good looks that a lot of people love. Despite its popularity, the XR200 is a flawed bike. It has a lot going on against it, especially once you have a closer look and feel. If you happen to have experienced the OG off-road only XR200R and its bigger versions, you will find that this one has something that doesn't feel right. For a start, if you look at it from the side, you will notice that the tail end is sticking up way too high, as if the rear shock has been jacked up while the front forks look really short. When you sit on the bike, it feels very tall and awkward. Reach to the ground is too tall for most riders and the stock handlebars are too low also. Not the most comfortable position to be in. You as a rider are forced to sit really close to the gas tank and put most of your weight up front. With that being said, the weight distribution is off. Most of it is focused high and forward on the chassis and gives the bike a really top-heavy feel. Based on my personal experience, this Model XR does not have the most confidence-inspiring handling. The front end feels very twitchy while cornering, and the rear end feels too soft and floaty. So those are 5 issues going on: bad form, tall seat height, awkward ergonomics, stability issues, and poor handling. There are many ways to fix these issues though. Aftermarket seat, suspension, handlebars, some will even go as far as modifying the frame and so on. But in my opinion, there is only one simple modification that will fix all of these issues. And it is this: the shock linkage, or the so-called dog bone. All you have to do is replace it with a longer one or extend the stock unit by half an inch or maybe an inch depending on your preferences. So what does it do? 1. It drops the seat height, allowing you to put your feet firmly on the ground, especially in tight situations, may it be on the streets or off-road. A big plus for shorter riders. 2nd would be giving you a more comfortable riding position. You are no longer isolated towards the gas tank, and it is easier to move forward and back on the seat. Lesser stress on your arms while holding on the handlebars as well. 3rd improvement would be better weight distribution. As you can see here, the XR200 looks more balanced, and I tell you, it feels a lot lighter also. Now the biggest improvement that this modification does is it firms up the rear suspension while giving the front end a more planted feel, resulting in better stability when maneuvering the bike, may it be cornering or on a straight line on or off-road. I have done this modification myself on my personal bikes, and I tell you, this really works. Lastly, on a aesthetic point of view, the XR200 looks better with a balanced stance. It doesn't look awkward with its rear end sticking up, and it surely looks more inviting to go for a ride. Again, this modification is super easy to do. Extend your shock linkage by half an inch or maybe 2 inches, and I tell you, this makes your XR200 feel like a better handling machine. That is one simple modification that won't cost you a lot, but it fixes a lot of issues. There is one downside though, and that is lesser ground clearance. But that is a small sacrifice for an overall better handling and more comfortable ride. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Hope you found this demonstration helpful. Leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more stuff like this. If you have questions, suggestions, or other tips, leave a comment below. As always, see you next time. Bye.